Yeah.
Did you give the test back for the
Which question to go over?
3.
3?
3.
Okay, what does 3 says?
Garden will make a rectangular enclosure using a wall as one side and 120 meters of fencing for the other 3 sides.
120
Yeah, a fence.
feet of fence.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the question 3. 120 feet of fence and what? You want to create a maximum area?
Find the maximum area of the enclosure.
Okay, so there's a wall. For those of you guys are geniuses, you don't need a fence right next to the wall.
I mean,
Shut up, Sam.
yeah, I mean, you want it more like linear.
Oh my god, I swear
People
my
just
neck.
walk
What
in.
are you on?
So what's my primary equation? Can you see this one? Okay, what's my exactly? So what's my primary equation?
2y plus x.
What's being maximized here?
Oh, the area.
Area. So area is x times y. And what is my perimeter here? 2y plus x.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's a constraint, right? This is a constraint. Constraint is 120 because that's how much material I have.
Okay.
What should we, huh?
Does it have to be 2y plus x? Can it be 2x plus y?
It can, so your answer is gonna be the other way, so. I just always, the vertical, I always go with the y, but it's okay, the answer is gonna be exactly the same thing. It's just a different orientation, you assign the other way. So that's gonna be 120, so I solve for x. So x equal to what? 120 minus 2y, right? So a is equal to x times 120 minus 2y. Yeah, you're pretty dumb. Well, this is a x, and then this is y, right? So that's gonna be 120y minus 2y squared. A prime is what? 120 minus 4y. Y is equal to 120 divided by 4, so y is equal to 30. And the y is equal to 30, then you're gonna plug in here, so it'll be 120 equal to 60 plus x. X is equal to what? 60. So this part is equal to 60, this part is equal to 30. So if you wanna answer the question correctly, they say what's the maximum area? So that's equal to 1,800 meters square. Other questions for homework? They're pretty easy.
Number 6, 7, and 8.
6 I'm not gonna do, you're gonna do 6. I'm gonna do 7.
Okay.
Okay, 7 is originally was assigned, but I laid down on WeChat. I said don't worry about 7. But 7 is because people, you guys don't have a really easy.
No, we got like the Chinese.
Oh yeah, Asian people use it.
No, I'm serious.
Okay, fine.
My parents when they were China, they used WeChat.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
My propaganda.
No, actually you can pay a lot of stuff. Just go into like a store, and you wanna pay for McDonald's. You take a pull out WeChat, just pay for. Yeah, they have pay functions.
Like WhatsApp and Apple.
What's your social credit score?
740.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Is that good? Is that bad?
It's not even.
Why would you ask if you don't know?
Right?
Okay, so question about this one. Can I go over number 7?
Yes.
I find out the people that don't know how to do number 7 is you don't have any common sense. Okay, so why I say no common sense? Because there are people just cannot see visually the geometry perspective things, that's pretty scary. So, but we're gonna go over number 7. So can you read it number 7 right now? Don't tell me, write down what's the key information, and then in 1 minute I want you to tell me what the key information that's being thing.
How am I supposed to know it?
I figured out
Why
what
don't, wait, is it that people don't understand it's an open box, not a closed box? So they put 6 in the surface area, do they just?
Yeah, instead of 5, yeah.
Not only that.
What else did they do? I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Okay, so give me your questions. Give me the information. Let's start with I'm calling on you. Zachary, what do you think the key information's here?
The fact that it has a square base.
A square base. Okay, so there's a square on the bottom. So this is a square base. Well, this is a parallelogram, but I'm gonna draw it 3-dimensional, so it's gonna be, we're gonna assume that's square. Right now, what else? Open top. What does open top mean?
There's no.
It's 5 sides, it doesn't have a closed.
It doesn't have the top side. It doesn't have a lid. What else? What is surface area? So what did I say surface area is equal to?
108 square inches.
Surface area is what?
108 square inches.
108 square inches. Okay, that's good. That's it, key information. So what else? Huh? Okay, so question. The question is maximize the volume. The volume. What else? Somebody says square base. I'm so sorry, Zachary. Square base. And what else? What else is there? Is key information? Nothing. That's it. Okay. So let's draw this box. You know this box is scary. Sometimes you look at it, it's like looks outside,
Right?
and sometimes it looks like
Yeah.
inside.
What?
Mr. Ye, come on.
Wait,
Really?
flat on the ground beforehand.
Wait, how did that box
It's
do
hot.
it?
Anything
The
else?
top is open.
If you look long enough, you can see the insides outside.
Or is it closed?
I saw this one
already
image where like the plates were inside, and then if you looked at one plate, everything looked outside.
Now you can unsee it, right?
They're closed.
You can unsee it.
Okay,
Okay, so
Does the box?
huh?
Does the box start like flat or is it already like
No, it's just a box. Okay, so the square base, so the way is the volume is what we're trying to max as, right? So width times length times height, but unfortunately, that we don't want to use W, L, and H. Why?
X gives huge.
Because there's too many damn variables. If I take a derivative, it's gonna be all day long because there's a product rule and all that. So we want to figure out. So the key thing is that square base.
So I mean,
That square base that makes this bottom just an x and x. So we're gonna use the x instead. So that's gonna be x times x. And the height is gonna be this, so it's x squared h. Question about this part? Am I going too fast? No. So what's your question as well? So what's your question? Because maybe not quite. Wasn't a question.
Oh, why is the h different than the two x's?
Because of the square base. So if something that's square base, right? So the bottom is just the bottom base area is gonna be exactly square. So I can have a square like this and just a long tube. The height can be different. So the height is different variable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now, surface area. So here's a problem, surface area. So you guys gonna challenge yourself to write down what the surface area based on this x and h. So write it down, don't shout it, because other people start thinking when you shout it. Write down the surface area and let me know what is it. Yeah, that's good. But a lot of people cannot see that. No, it's sense, got common sense.
We did it, boys!
I hate you.
Chopstick, dude. Chopstick.
And then him and Zachary scored him and beat one person.
My score doubled could be a good amount of people. Would be everybody.
Is that the surface area of
No.
the whole box
Yeah.
or just like the box?
So
My
Yes,
score
yes.
doubled would be everybody.
Is the
Yes,
bottom
that-
base or the bottom
Yeah.
base?
As long as I get over a
Well, then why do you, why do you get double your score?
Write down your surface area, let me look at it. That's good. Actually, that's scary.
I have no common sense.
Either I don't have common
Wait,
sense.
but then, Mr. Yeh, is 108 just
Oh, I
the
can
top
just
of the
do
base?
this.
Wait, no.
I got it. Since I got it right.
Okay, from the
Mr. Yeh.
now.
I swear to God.
Is this better?
Good job.
Almost.
Man, bro, you're not having common sense.
Got like one question.
First, you know what, 5
Ariana.
Stupid.
That's right.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I put that effort too. I put that.
Is
I
108
mean, you
just
make me
the surface area
overthink
at
it.
the top or is it
You're
the
done.
No, because you're messing up the fact over there. One of the fact they didn't use.
How did you use this?
not a-
How did you get the X?
Hey, Mr. A, is this right?
Who are you?
Yeah, after I find it.
Did you get that first?
Nope. That's only lateral.
That's what I got.
But like, I was like, but that's not.
That's up.
As long as I go with that, What?
Ray it.
I don't get it.
It's not. I don't know what it is.
My bad.
Okay,
Say it's one. Ray
Yeah,
it.
I just realized that when you said it has 6 sides, and then I was like, there's an open box.
They make surgery.
Race.
So then
Ew, you just want side by side. The other thing is 10.
Bro,
X
Oh.
square H times square.
I don't get it, mister. Can you explain?
I know, right?
Square base. Shh. If you read the question, this is a square.
Yeah.
Is this a height same as the base?
No.
No. This is square base. It's perfect things, right? So look, this the bottom part is linked to the x, and this is the x, right? And this is h, right? Look, you need to find the bottom. You cannot have a case without bottom, Jonathan. So the bottom is what? X squared. Good. So x squared. You draw it out if you have really questions. This is you're gonna say that's a base.
Oh, I got it.
Now how about the lateral? The lateral is what? One side is what? XH? How about that side?
XH.
XH, good job. How about that side? XH? How about that side? XH. How many sides are they?
5.
Like, sometimes he explains it and I feel stupid. Like, he makes it seem like we're like elementary.
Seriously? This is elementary student.
I know, but like, it's like.
I don't know, like what's so hard to come up with the
It's
expression
it's
this?
just the way you explain it.
I thought it was.
You know,
Okay, so surface area. What is surface area? 108. So can you solve the problem now? What are you solving for, by the way? You better not solve for x. It's gonna be the all day.
Okay, good.
So can you solve the problem now?
Wait, does the box not?
Look, I already did the hardest part. This is the hardest part. Most of you guys have no common sense. Just look at, visualize the box. Think about each orientations.
okay, I
Oh,
got
the box doesn't have a top. I'm done.
oh, then you take.
Yeah. And the Jonathan has a box without a bottom.
I put A.
And top.
Hey, I put 5 each X, okay? That's not.
And this guy has x to the fourth.
No, that's because I.
I put more.
That's because I
got
thought.
part of it right.
X to the fourth.
Look, even if
That's
it
because I
has
thought
top,
it was a top.
the X to the fourth, Jose. I know what you're trying to say, but no.
There was a top in my
Even
head.
if it
In my
was-
head.
No,
I wasn't close.
it would be 2x squared.
I love you too.
Love you too, baby.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie.
Como se dice shut up?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think so. Oh.
So the hardest part is set up the damn equation. And that requires a little bit of common sense.
Just like we're late. That's how we know
Yeah, the derivative is easy. The substitution is easy. You guys can do that all day long. But the problem is setting up. That's the biggest problem.
You're bad at it.
Oh no. Still under.
No, it's cool.
207. So I have 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next problem.
Oh.
So you should get a result. X is equal to an odd number, I think. No, X is an even number.
So I just like
Okay, my answer
Can you do
is
process?
completely wrong everywhere else.
the answer.
Okay, she just.
Next to me.
X is an even number.
Wow, thanks. So helpful.
Why? H is gonna be an odd number. How about that?
Can you do it, please?
No, I'm not gonna do that. You know how to do it.
I don't know.
Pretty, please.
I really
I
don't.
don't know.
You figured out we have no common sense here.
Yeah, Mr.
But at least you can do math, right?
I can't do it.
I have to teach you other questions.
No,
Do you
please.
solve
Please
it? You take the
just solve
derivative?
this.
I think you solve
Give us the right answer so we can go home and skip it.
And then do derivative, and then you.
He probably knows the answer. Wait, did we take the derivative of x?
Geniuses.
Yeah, are you working
Yes,
backwards?
yeah.
Why were in here had to do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Please.
Please. Please. Go ahead.
Yes.
Do it fast. Go ahead.
Yes.
Do it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just don't have to do all this.
Seriously.
I'm halfway there, bro. I think we passed me.
Why would
Oh, do you just
I was
substitute?
doing that.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Really?
Not that kind of substitute.
Oh, we're so.
What happened to the
Oh, that's so
I know we're
easy.
taking the
So
derivative.
easy.
Muy bien, H equal. Muy bien.
4 times 108 is what?
400.
Wait. Oh, I'm like,
Yes, you are.
And then you just plug that in.
so dumb, I swear to God.
So here is gonna be 108 over 4 is what? 52? No, it's 27, right? OX? 27 over x plus what? Minus what?
Do this on the homework.
X over 4 is equal to h, right?
I think you're supposed to multiply by x squared, isn't it?
Why'd you separate?
Shouldn't you?
What?
So you can.
Oh, wait, no, never mind. Because I thought you.
Why did you separate?
I'm a little retarded.
So I'm gonna do volume. Volume is equal to x squared times h. H is gonna be 27 over x minus x over 4.
It's,
X equals 6.
Isn't that just-
So that's equal to what? 27. X cancel out, so it'll be 27x, right? Minus what? X to the 3 over what? 4? That's equal to volume. And then I'm gonna take out x, so that's equal to 27 minus x squared over 4. Wait, did I do something wrong? Wait, what did I have x? Oh, yeah.
Because you have the x squared on the outside.
So then x is equal to 0, 27 is equal to what?
3, 4, 6 squared.
24 minus x squared over 4, right? Oh, I haven't taken derivative, have I?
No.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Uh,
Well, I didn't take that. 27 minus 3x squared over 4. I don't need to do quotient rule, please. Some people are trying to do quotient rule. 0 equal to 27 minus 3x squared over 4. So 27 is equal to 3 over 4x squared. And this is gonna be 108 over 3 equal to x squared. X is equal to plus minus 6. And x is equal to 6 because x cannot be negative. There's no negative link. And then you can plug in y is equal, and h is gonna equal to 3. So it'd be 6 times 3 bucks. Questions? Okay, so we're gonna talk about next question. The next question is gonna be 4 minus x squared. This one's not on the worksheet, but it's on your test. Y equal to 4 minus x squared. Y equal to 4 minus x squared. You guys got this? And there is a point. 0, 2. Find the closest point on the y we're gonna call this f of x. On f of x, find the closest distance. Closest distance on the f of x to the point 0, 2. So those of you guys don't know how to graph a parabola, this is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 2 x-intercepts right here. And it's gonna be like right here. And this 0, 2 is right here. So it must be a coordinate somewhere on top of the curve that's closest to the point 0, 2. Now this one's hard because that's why I explained to you, because this one's different. What we're trying to minimize, or what we're trying to maximize? Are we maximize or minimize? There's no volume here.
Which question is this?
I'm talking about this one.
Oh.
You're trying to minimize the distance, so how would I approach it? Distance formula. So what is the distance formula? Great, this class is doing better than the other class. Distance.
It's like y2 minus.
Oh, distance formula, square root of
Something like
x2 minus x1 plus y2 plus minus y1.
x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, right?
Square.
So which point I'm comparing? Which point I'm comparing? 0, 2, right? So can I just substitute that? X minus 0 squared plus y minus 2 squared. Distance is equal to square root of x squared plus y minus 2 squared. So this is a primary equation, right? What is the restraint? What?
4, 0.
No, what's the restraint?
2.
It's right in front of you. What's the restraint?
Negative numbers.
No. What is the restraint?
Distance. 4.
What is the restraint?
X has to be
No.
less than. He's disappointed.
Huh?
X has to be less than.
No.
Sorry.
Come on, what's the restraint?
Oh, 2 and 2.
No.
He sounds so.
He made it to colors.
It's right in front of you. Are you guys blind?
Move a little bit. Move a little bit.
What is the equation?
4 minus x squared.
Thank you. I changed it as f of x. It is technically y, right? Yeah.
Oh!
What did he say?
Yeah. What is y? It's a 4 minus x squared minus 2 squared, right? So this is a distance, so I'm going to do it right here. Distance is equal to square root of x squared plus 2 minus x squared squared. Can I FOIL this? Yes, so it's going to be x squared plus 4 minus 4x squared plus x to the 4th. And the distance is equal to x to the 4th minus 3x squared plus 4. So the distance is whatever, right? Now, here's my question.
Oh,
How do I take a derivative of this? Yes?
you make it to the 1/2 power, and then you said between the zeros, find
Yeah, you can do that, but your life is going to be pretty miserable. Well, yeah, you can do that. That's what he said. So I'm going to show you that. Guys, pay attention. A lot of people get confused. Suha, pay attention. A lot of people say, I can do a chain rule here, but the problem is, I don't need to do chain rule. Because we're trying to maximize whatever inside material is. Can I just don't worry about whatever the radical? Because we're trying to maximize whatever here. It's going to square root anyway. So can I just say, well, we're going to say it's equal to this distance, whatever inside is going to square root. We can say d squared, whatever. But it's x to the 4 minus 3x squared plus 4. I don't worry about inside because whatever inside, the highest number I get, I'm going to square root anyway. So I just need to find out what's the highest number I can get here. So now I'm going to do a d prime. So it'll be 4x to the cube. Can the screen see this or No.
I don't think so.
Put more down.
Leave it.
Yeah, doesn't.
Okay, can I see here?
Right. Got it.
No,
Can?
just, I'll hold on.
Oh, I tried.
So here, I'm gonna say x to the 4 minus 3x squared plus 4. This is a d, right? And I say d prime is equal to 4x to the third minus 6x. Am I going too fast? Yes.
I don't really get what that one thing you're trying to make about the square root. I don't really understand that.
I don't need a square root because whatever I get, so for example, inside material is 20. I'm gonna square root them anyway. Inside material is 50. I'm gonna square root anyway. Square root 50 is still greater than square root 20, right? Because the 50 is greater than 20. So I don't need to care about the square root at all. Because I just need to say, okay, it's 50 or 20. Because I'm gonna square root anyway, so I don't need to worry about the square root.
So you're gonna square root it like when you're done taking it?
No, I don't. I just leave it like that. Because whatever inside material, what I'm gonna get is gonna be the possible things. So let me finish it here. So that's gonna be 0 is equal to 4x cubed minus 6x. And then 0 is equal to 2x times x squared minus 2x. And then x is equal to 0, x is equal to plus minus square root of 3 over 2. So you're gonna get 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 solutions. But that's not an answer.
Oh, you have to find which one's closest to 0 too.
Right. So what do you have to do? Plug into where? No. No. No.
F prime.
Distance from this.
No. What? No.
Well, you plug it in to find y and.
No.
Just use common sense.
No.
Just positive.
So you will assume that this is probably the closest point, right?
Yeah.
But it's not.
Oh.
Because I hear somewhere along here, this is actually closer than here.
That's why it's
Oh, okay.
But how do we prove that?
This is
Oh,
one.
No.
Sit.
Just-
Come on.
How
Just tell
would-
us. Just
Come,
tell
we have
us.
like a minute.
How would we not prove that?
Like the
Yeah.
first line,
Tell
like
us.
you
We have
can
like
say
a
like
minute.
extreme.
Distance from
What kind of, it's the Karate Kid.
Concave, second derivative.
Second derivative, good. So, what do I do with second derivative? D double prime, right? That's equal to what? 12x squared minus 6. So we're gonna say D double prime of 0. If I plug in 0 in double prime, I'm gonna get what? Negative 6. Is that concave up or concave down?
Oh,
Down.
Down. So that's what?
oh.
A maximum. Am I trying to get a maximum distance? No. I'm trying to get a minimum. So I'm going to do d double prime of square root of 3 over 2. And that's going to be 12 times square root of 3 over 2 squared minus 6. That's equal to 12 times 3 over 2 minus 6. That's equal to what? 12, 12, 6, 18. 18 minus 6, so it's 12. So 12 is what?
Wait, hold on.
minimum.
It's a concave up, right?
Some minimum.
So it's minimum, so that's the closest distance I can find. It's actually here. Then I can go back to plug in the y value because we're not get the closest point. So what happened is you had to plug in the original equation. So f square root of 3 over 2, 4 minus square root of 3 over 2.
So it's 3 over 4.
So it'd be 4 minus 3 over 2, so it's what?
Would it be 3 over 4?
Yeah, 3 over 4.
No, this is whole thing squared.
Oh, whole thing.
Oh, okay.
It's what? 5 over 2. So the coordinate is going to be square root of 3 over 2 positive to 5 over 2. And the negative, because it is a symmetric on both sides, so it's going to be 5 over 2. So that's two coordinate right here. That's the closest distance compared to original state. Okay? You don't need to worry about what's out of the radical. You just worry about inside because you're trying to maximize inside anyway. You're going to square root at the end anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When you square the 3 over 2, how does it make 3 over 4?
Huh?
Shouldn't this one be 3 over 4?
No, that's one square roots all the way from the top to bottom.
Oh, I thought it was just.
Not something.
Why?
Well, I have to go meet somebody